meteorologist and science teacher Ryan Miller. One of the classes I teach at Washington Liberty High School in Arlington is Geographic Information Systems, otherwise known as GIS. It is a tool and a topic and a great way to take a look at things that are impacting the planet, things like Hurricane Ian and the impacts that that storm had on the environment and the locations and the communities impacted by this storm. Hurricane Ian has traveled over 2,500 miles, and southwest Florida has seen tremendous impacts because of this storm. We can look at things like population, and this location in Florida that was heavily impacted, especially the Fort Myers area, has seen anywhere between 60 and 70% of an increase in the population that lives in these locations in red from 2000 through 2022. So substantial amounts of more people live in southwestern Florida compared to the year 2000. With people come housing units, and we have tremendous growth in housing units across southwest Florida as well as the East Coast. The areas in red, again, upwards of 61% of an increase in the number of housing units located here in these high impact locations in southwest Florida. With GIS, you can do things like examine the amount of power lines that you have that are impacted in this area where the storm had its greatest impact. 3,430 miles of power lines have been impacted by this storm. There's 116 gas stations that were impacted and wastewater treatment plants. The facilities that handle everything that goes down the drains in your home and the toilets and showers in your home, these locations with the red dots are the areas that service and deal with the wastewater. They're impacted when you have tremendous amounts of rain and saltwater intrusion towards the coast. So GIS gives us a way to analyze and examine some of the impacts of a storm. One of the other items that we can also rely upon and use is imagery taken from satellites and imagery taken from things like airplanes. Sanibel Island in Florida was heavily damaged when Hurricane Ian went through, and as a result of that, there has been widespread destruction and damage to many of the structures in Sanibel and on Sanibel Island. And in fact, as we take a look at this screen, here's a structure that caught on fire after the storm, and with a lack of emergency response, it was unfortunately burnt to the ground and did not necessarily have an opportunity for any type of emergency response. And when you take the imagery from a few days ago, right after the storm, and compare it to what it was, you can really and truly see the magnitude of damage that a storm like Hurricane Ian has caused in southwestern Florida. The impacts of this storm are going to be profound, and GIS can play a really integral role at examining the locations that have been impacted the most, and to allow emergency responders and folks that are working to make things better get to work and make sure that we can really recover from a storm like this. The island of Sanibel Island actually has a bridge that's collapsed, and that is now not accessible by traffic. GIS gives us an opportunity to take a look at areas that have been impacted and how the storm and the damage of a powerful storm like Hurricane Ian can really wreak havoc on places like southwest Florida. I'm Ryan Miller. This is Science for Everybody, and this is a topic and a look at GIS.